Terence Crawford, he wants to put Vergil Ortiz in a fight with Vergil Kavialauskas, before he fights him. That sounds like some nonsense that Floyd does. What's up, sports fans? It's your man B back, speaking my sports talk. Yeah, check it out, man. We're talking Terence Crawford today, and recent statements about how Vergil Ortiz needs to go fight Vergil Kavialauskas first. That's one of his former opponents, basically. And not too long ago, I gave my guy, right? Because I'm a fan of Terence SYMST. I like Bud Crawford. I have no dislike for him. I like him. I like the way he fights. I think he's a good fighter, but I'm an SYMST fan, right? But I'm also a huge Teofimo Lopez fan. Now, when Teofimo Lopez came out and said that, Devin Haney needs to go do something, I flamed him for it. I was like, bro, you are a champion. When somebody comes to compete for that belt, you are supposed to beat their ass and keep moving it on. That's it. That's how this combat sport is supposed to go. That's why the UFC has so much success, because their champions will fight the guy stepping up to take his belt. Doesn't matter who it is. That's how it should be in combat sports. And I'm not going to flame my guy, who I'm a huge fan of, Teofimo, for saying, Devin Haney need to go do something. And then let Bud Crawford get away with saying that about Vergil. But you're a champion. And Vergil Kavialauskas, let's be honest, you're a pound-for-pound fighter. That's a fight you shouldn't even have had, to tell you the truth. Now you want to toss this guy in front of Vergil, talking about let's see if he can get through him. You sound like Floyd Mayweather with that. That's when Ryan was talking about fighting Tank, which is why I told all of these idiotic Ryan fans that it was just clout chasing a duck on Haney, because Ryan was never going to get Tank. Floyd put that same obstacle in front of Ryan Garcia. Well, fight Rolly Romero first, and then you can get it.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Ryan Garcia said he wants to fight Tank. Well, I'm putting the money up right now. If Ryan Garcia can beat Rolly, I give him $200,000 cash.
If he can beat who?
He gonna fight one of my other fighters who have less fights than he has. He's gonna fight Rolly. Accept the bout with Rolly. I give him $200,000 cash if he beat Rolly. Now, once he loses to Rolly, I don't want him to ever say Tank name again.
And here you are fighting Vergil Kavialauskas first. But see, when it's Floyd doing it, a lot of these Crawford fans, they'll point it out for about Tank. That's why Tank ain't doing that. But when Crawford says it, it's perfectly okay. None of these guys should put any opponent in front of another opponent if you're holding a championship title. You fight anybody. Not to mention that Crawford doesn't even have a lot on the table right now. He can't really get the Manny Pacquiao fight. Spence, forget about it. Sean Porter is all of this rigmarole. How you going to throw somebody in front of
Vergil Ortiz?
This is what kills our sports, and Crawford fans don't want to accept it. It's Crawford hate. I'll get that from a lot of people. This is Crawford. B don't never give a chance to, not hate on Crawford. No, you guys never talk about the bullshit he does. That's the thing. Like, everybody, look, all the information has to be put out. All of the information has to be put out. I protected Terence Crawford on plenty of occasions. I protected Deontay Wilder on plenty of occasions. I protected Tank Davis even on plenty of occasions. Jamal Charlo. These are guys that I don't necessarily go for outside of Crawford, because those other names, I actually don't go for them at all. I really like Crawford. I think he's a beast in the ring. But criticism has to be given as well as praise. Right? And I keep hearing this nonsense, but then, okay, I'm going to speak on it then. I'm going to speak on it. Terence Crawford should not be putting anyone in front of Vergil. If Vergil, as a champion, if this young warrior wants to make a mistake, you're supposed to beat him mercilessly and show him that he was not ready. You don't start talking all of this nonsense, especially when you didn't even have a fight ahead of you. Talking about he needs to fight Vergil Kavialauskas. Dude, you shouldn't even have fought Vergil Kavialauskas. The only reason you had to fight him because Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman and Easy the PVC didn't want to step up. But still, that's not really a fight that you should be proud of. Come on, bro. It was Vergil Kavialauskas. And then all of these fans sitting here talking about oh, well, Mean Machine. What makes Mean Machine so much of a higher level fighter than Vergil Ortiz. I just don't get it. I think that the consensus is, I think if those two were to set up for a fight, Vergil Ortiz would be a heavy favorite. Not just a favorite, a heavy favorite. But then people saying that he has to get through Kavialauskas to get to Crawford. We already pretty much know that Vergil's better than Kavialauskas, which means if he's better than Kavialauskas, that's actually already a better fight for Terence Crawford. Like, let's be logical about this. Why should he have to go fight Egidijus Kavialauskas, Vergil Ortiz? I think we all feel like Vergil's better than Crawford. I do. I think most people do. And if that fight was announced, I think most people would be picking Vergil Ortiz to win. So if there's a guy that's basically fighting at a higher level, or we feel like would beat Kavialauskas, why should he fight him before Crawford? That makes no sense. Why did Terence Crawford even come out and say that? It's no way, I'm going to tell you guys right now, no way I'm picking Mean Machine to beat Vergil Ortiz. No way. So why would he have to go fight? Why would Crawford say, oh, he need to go fight Green Machine first? Come on, man. Like, come on, man. Why is our champion? When Deontay Wilder did that to Dillian White, you need to go fight Luis Ortiz. He caught all kind of murder over that, bro. All kind of murder over that. You know, Vergil Ortiz has already fought Brad Solomon. He's already fought Vargas. He's already fought Maurice Hooker, right? You don't need a Kavialauskas because Kavialauskas are with those guys. That's the level I'm putting him on with those guys, right? So you don't need Egidijus Kavialauskas for Vergil to fight Crawford. And Crawford, you just like Floyd Mayweather putting an obstacle in front of that fight. Fam, you don't have a fight in front of you. Go collect the money. You got a minimum. Bob gonna pay you for whether you fight Tom, Dick, and Harry or whether you fight, you know, Vergil Ortiz. So you don't. Money is not the issue. Go fight Vergil. Beat him up. Show him he's a kid and he's not ready. I pick you to win, Terence Crawford. And I love Vergil Ortiz. I like Vergil Ortiz. I'm a bigger fan of Vergil than I am. I'm actually a fan of Vergil. I'm not really a fan of Crawford, but I think Crawford beats him all day. I don't think it'll be an easy fight. I think Vergil will put up a tougher fight than anybody Crawford's faced at 147. That's where I think the disconnect is. Why should he have to fight Egidijus Kavialauskas when I believe Vergil will put up a tougher fight than Egidijus Kavialauskas? You know? But I think by saying putting up a tougher fight, that's not saying Vergil will win. Of course I'm going to pick Crawford to win. Fight him. That's what you fight him. This is the fight game. Fight him. Or fight somebody, man. But don't go putting guys' names in front of another opponent. To me, that's pure foolery. And I don't care if it's Wilder that do it, if it's Floyd that does it with Tank Davis, if it's Teofimo coming out running his mouth saying Devin has to fight. Wrong is wrong, man. It's not hate. All of you guys got to stop with this Crawford nonsense. I got all of these guys. Anytime I say something that's not praising Crawford, you just hate Crawford, D. You just hate Crawford, D. But they never talk about the videos that I have respecting Crawford, telling fans stop disrespecting Crawford, this, that, and the third. They don't speak on those. They act like I don't have those videos up. How could it be hate if you give a guy criticism and praise? The only reason guys like Crawford and Devin Haney and Demetrius Andre get more heat from me than because y'all praise them too much for the lack of the shit that they've done. Crawford's the only one that really has done something in the sport. Demetrius Andre and Devin Haney ain't done shit. But when I talk about them, it's hate about them. At least Crawford has gone for about undisputed, 3-time champion, fought A-level fighters. Devin Haney and Andre hadn't. But when people hear me talk about, oh, Ryan Garcia, I used to praise Ryan all the time. Now all you hear is Ryan Garcia praise, Ryan Garcia praise. And nobody's talking about all of this foolishness he's doing. Cloud chasing, ducking Devin Haney, backdooring his freaking other mandatory. You know, where's all the Ryan hype now? You didn't even see all of these channels when I was coming out with it. Where's the Ryan hype? Where's the Ryan Garcia videos at? You don't even hear it now because they know he's full of shit. And it's hard for them to even come up and support that nonsense he's doing. But when I was saying 2 months ago, go look at the video. Ryan Garcia, Manny, a hoax. Ryan Garcia never fight Tank Davis. He ducking Devin Haney. I put these videos up 2 months ago. Now that Ryan's done quiet down and people know he not getting Manny, because Manny talk about either Mikey or Crawford, so you can take that stupidness off the table. Oh, it wasn't a hoax. D, you don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't a hoax. Why didn't it happen then? And when I said it was a hoax and said he was going to backdoor Devin Haney and take his other mandatory, why did that play out the same way it played out? You guys listen, Terence Crawford, Teofimo Lopez, Deontay Wilder, Devin Haney, whoever, anybody, Errol Spence, when he did it, that was wrong. Keith Thurman talking about some, tell Terence Crawford, I flamed him for that, but now I'm supposed to be quiet when Terence Crawford does the same thing. You guys need to keep the same energy about Terence Crawford. Like, I need to see all of you guys that call me haters, I need to see a post, a video, you know, on your page, because I follow your pages too, and you guys know who I'm talking about, that cry, dear Crawford hater. Where y'all post about this? Because I ain't seen it. I've been looking at y'all posts. I've been looking at y'all videos. I haven't seen anything you guys giving Crawford no kind of heat about telling Vergil he has to go fight a Agidius Kavialauskas. Come on, stop that, bro. Vergil beats Agidius Kavialauskas. Why should he have to go fight a fighter he beats to come fight you, Crawford? Come on, man. You Crawford fans got to be honest. Keep the same energy about Terence Crawford. That was something he shouldn't even have said out his mouth. He come out talking about who Canelo's fighting when his resume is abysmal. Your resume ain't great. And then you come out putting somebody in between you and the Vergil fight. And all of these Crawford fans don't have nothing to say about it. Man, y'all need to stop this. It's hypocritical as hell. When Spence said, go get a belt, this, that, and the third. That's all y'all ever talk about. Spence said, do this, and do this, and do this. Come on, man. If it's wrong on one side, it's wrong on the other side. Same thing I said about Spence. The man is doing what he said he's going to do, clean out the division, because if I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, 3 belts he would have collected. And he's supposed to go fight Crawford. Crawford is supposed to be happening. I don't know if y'all heard the news here early. Crawford Spence, 2021, right? In the fall. But of course, y'all don't believe that. Y'all don't want to believe it. It's expensive. Just like when Teofimo went to fight Lomachenko and Bob tried to lowball him. Like, this is another thing. People are always making excuses for Bob Arum and these lowball offers. Lowball Teofimo twice back to back. He tried to lowball Teofimo, lowball Sean Porter, lowball Keith Thurman. Y'all don't want to give Bob the heat. But when that happens, you know, when that happens, and y'all don't want to be honest about these things, that you're not going to get the right assessments in the sport. We got to take everything, you know, and apply it to each individual situation. And Bob Arum, you know, is causing a lot of issues for Terence Crawford by not wanting to open that checkbook, you know, by coming out publicly saying he's costing him money. I mean, Bob Arum is not doing the best thing for Terence Crawford. He's not really getting him a valid fight. Crawford talking about turning down Vergil Ortiz when he can't get the Manny Pacquiao fight, and Arum doesn't want to pay Porter enough. Now you hear this nonsense about Porter is the one who should be pushing the mandatory. Porter should do this. You know, Porter would have never been in a situation to push. See, here's the thing that Crawford fans don't want to acknowledge or accept. Why should Sean Porter be in this position now where he has to activate his mandatory and push for a fight? Because if Bob Arum never lowballed him, the fight would have probably happened. If Bob Arum didn't come out and try to disrespect him with a $1 million offer, maybe Kenny and Sean accepts. If he showed that man some value in the fact that this is Terence Crawford's first fight at 147 against a top 5 welterweight, where is the value in that for Terence Crawford and Bob Arum? Where's the value in that? That would have been his first legitimate fight that nobody could complain about at 147, Showtime Sean Porter, and he tries to give this guy $1 million offer. Lowball the hell out of him. Now we fast forward and Crawford fans want to put all the heat on Porter. Ridiculous, man. He putting guys in front of Vergil. He need to fight Kavialauskas. None of these Crawford fans have anything to say for it. It's all cool. D, you just hating on Crawford. Bob lowballs the hell out of Sean Porter. The fight don't happen. Now Sean Porter is the one because he won't activate the mandatory. Even if he activates the mandatory, did that stop Bob? Did that change the fact that Bob tried to lowball him? Does that change any of that? This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. So Terence Crawford, step it up, man. You can put Kavialauskas in front of Vergil Ortiz all you want. You better fight somebody valid next. I tell you that, if you're gonna throw Kavialauskas in front of Vergil, say he need to go fight Vergil. Well, you need to fight Spence, Manny, Porter, or Keith Thurman. And if you don't fight any of those next, Crawford, I'm going to flame you again. Especially when you're not fighting Spence, Porter, Manny, or Keith Thurman. When you're not fighting them, and then there's a young lion coming up like Vergil, you want to throw Egidijus Kavialauskas in front of that fight, then what the hell are you going to do, fam? Because we don't need no more Carol Brook specials, no more terrified Amir Khan run over fights, no more C-level fighter when you're arguably pound for pound #1 fighter in Jeff Horn. And then your best competition, and at my opinion, Kavialauskas, which is not an elite fighter or an A-level fighter. And then you fight a broken down Kell Brook, drained to hell and shouldn't even have been at 147. Bro, nah, you can't be saying who needs to fight who. You need to fight all of them. Anybody with a pulse, you need to get in there and fight, beat the hell out of them, and continue to build your name. But you damn sure don't need to be putting all the guys in front of any of your opponents. You're a champion. As a champion, you defend your titles. No questions, man. And when boxing can get back to that, not just for Crawford, for all of these idiots. Errol Spence too, my guy. So y'all don't think it's Teofimo, which I've already flamed him for, right? I played Teofimo for that comment about Haney. All of these fighters, you fight and defend that title. That's it, bro. Stop with the politics and who needs to fight who. All of you, T.O., Terence, Spence, Wilder, Fury, any of these guys. Stop that nonsense. This is combat sports. Get in there and fight the guy. Defend your title and keep it moving. That's what you do. All of you. The Crawford, this one goes out to you, fam. And y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.
Block, you can shop, pull up to the block and you can shop. What you want, better watch out, cause the cops hot. We shoot shots if you see the eye. You can't ball if you ain't got no hustle. Bitch, I keep my grind on, fuck the struggle.